उसका टेबल ले आना पड़ेगा. When they asked me what puja we should have in Vancouver, I had heard about this ashram, that it is placed in very beautiful surroundings of nature. And as nature is being created by the power of Saraswati, I thought best would be to have the puja of Saraswati here. Another thing is that when people live in nature, they become extremely creative. Their delicate feelings are preserved and they are never in a rush, or they are not what we can call too much modernized, because nature soothes them down. So also the creativity of Saraswati adds to artist, and I knew that there must have been many artists in this country created since long. The Canada as such, I feel, is the Hamsa Chakra of the Vishuddhi. But the power of Saraswati becomes Mahasarasvati when it is manifested by the Maha Brahmadeva, which is called as Hiranyagarbha. For that she has to cross through the Hamsa. She crosses through Hamsa and becomes the Vishnumaya Shakti. I mean, she is the Vishnumaya Shakti. So Saraswati becomes the Vishnumaya. She crosses at 2 points, one at Hamsa and another at Vishuddhi. So she is the sister of Sri Krishna. So Saraswati was born as the sister of Sri Krishna, and when Krishna's mama, his name was, uncle was Kamsa, he came to kill her, she just rose into the sky and became the lightning. And she declared the coming of Sri Krishna, that he is already there, existing. So the relationship between Sri Krishna and Vishnumaya is that of a brother and a sister. And surprisingly, the other day we celebrated the Rakhi Bandhan, Raksha Bandhan, which is the same thing as the brother-sister's relationship. So now here we are celebrating actually the deity, which is the sister of Sri Krishna. Later on she was born as Draupadi. And that's why Sri Krishna went to save her chastity, because it's the brother only who is concerned about the chastity and the name of the sister. So this is what yesterday happened, that is the Saraswati Puja. So Vishnumaya herself, yesterday 16 times thundered here. And I didn't tell anybody what was happening, but I knew she would do that. And apart from that, she has also threatened Washington. That's a good thing because Washington has to be awakened. Now, these are very, very subtle things and very subtle relations. And only I can tell these things because I know them, that these relations exist. So I was not surprised that she was there, but exactly 1600 times she blasted this part of Vancouver is to show that the time has come for you to understand that Sahaja Yoga is so important. And if we do not assert ourselves fully to Sahaja Yoga, Vishnumaya is going to take another form, which may burn all your forest, may burn everything. Now you must know that lightning represents all the five elements uh, in it. It has sound, it has light, it is in the ether, it acts in the ether. Also, it has got what you call the water in it. And when the water goes into friction, which is the Mother Earth, so all these things act through her. So this Vishnumaya yesterday showed us that I am here now. Please worship me. And so far we have never worshipped Saraswati. And Brahmadeva is not worshipped anywhere because he created this world, he created all these woods and all these things, and they created all the seas and all the lands, all the stars, universes after universes. But we are not to worship like we worship this tree or that tree. We are not to worship anything of that kind. Only thing, whatever is created by Mother Earth, like Swambhus, that's only we worship. And that too we worship now in a way that is in an abstract way. Because wherever they have appeared, people are doing commercial religion. So we don't go to these places also as Sahaja Yogis. So you can understand why all these things happened unexpectedly yesterday after my coming. That there was such a light of lightning which never happened before, and people were surprised. So is the Krishna's sister, who is a much more dynamic and ज्वलंत ला इंग्लिश मध्ये काय शब्द ज्वलंत much more fiery personality, much more fiery personality. Sri Krishna's essence is that he is a his sweetness, his madhurya, is his capacity, and Radha is the Ahladadayini Shakti, means the one which gives you that joy, which creates Pulakitwala, raises your hair with joy. So, I mean but in Sanskrit it's Pulakit is the word. So this beauty of Sri Krishna, which is sweetness, the Leela, creating beautiful feelings of oneness, of communication, all that is in Sri Krishna. But she is the one who warns, and that is how the warning came. And she is a very fiery personality which warns everyone. So on one way she has proved my coming here that I am here. Perhaps maybe to the people who are aboriginals, they might understand that this is what was prophesied and that has happened. And also that you people have to realize it's a warning that you cannot just allow Sahaja Yoga to drift in such a manner that it takes its own course and works out, and you are just by the way there. So, this is a warning of Sri Krishna's sister Vishnumaya, which is Saraswati herself, and that is what today we are going to worship her. Only the Sahajogis, those who are enlightened people, can worship Mahasarasvati. Otherwise, people can only worship Saraswati, because with worship of Saraswati, you can read books, you can uh, create dances, music for the amusement of human beings. But actually, the Saraswati Puja is meant for people of ordinary awareness, means ordinary or normal human awareness. But for Sahajogis, it is the Mahasaraswati which is to be worshipped. As I have told you, this Mahasaraswati becomes the Vishnumaya. And she is Vishnumaya, so you have to be person that you should yourself should inform people like the Vishnumaya does what Sahaja is, with your fiery talks, with things of exciting them, telling them what are you up to. But what I've seen is that mostly when people speak, they try to be very gentle and sweet, like Sri Krishna. We tried that in America, that it might work with Americans, but it did not. They like people like, say, that Graham Fellow or somebody like that who talks in a fiery way. And I think this is what we have to learn from yesterday's experience, that you need really some fiery speakers and fiery people, because they are not at all sensitive to normal sensations. See, all their sensations are dead, I think. They have become numb, and you have to give them some shocks. They like shocks. See, newspapers have to give them shocks. Any event that is shocking, that can only attract their attention. Even the music has to be so much that it should break the rocks. So it should be such music that will just break their heads. So they have become really rocky people. And you have to understand that their rockiness can only be shattered by Vishnumaya. And that's why this puja that we have today in Vancouver has a very great significance, not only for Canada but also for America. Americans are taking for granted whatever disease is coming to them, whatever drugs they are taking, whatever destruction they are doing to themselves is still not in their understanding. They don't understand what they are doing to themselves, how they are destroying themselves, how such a precious human life they are wasting just for their own whim and for their so-called freedom. So it is extremely, extremely important that you should try to tell them in a fiery way, what are you doing? Why are you deceiving yourself? Why don't you understand this is wrong? At least for the progeny, you tell them that we did this wrong, but you should not do it. All this kind of talk has to be there, and people have to get ready for such great speeches and things. But to say that people won't like it, I think is the other way now. Unless and until you frighten them, they are not going to be with you. So you have to tell and warn them. And that's what the Vishnumaya yesterday has suggested, that now take to a new style of strategy and talk to people in a way that whenever you are doing, say you are doing a course, at the end of the course you have to say that now see, Sahaja Yoga is not for only for doing course, but is for your well-being, for your benevolence, and you have to go further with it and you have to grow. Now don't leave it halfway. It's not like just sprouting the seed, but it has to become the tree. Otherwise, nobody can be helped. So, you see, just tell them all the dangers of not being properly brought up or matured in surgery. It has to be told, because all this lovey-dovey business doesn't help in America. I've seen that. You need really fiery people, because recently I was listening to a speech of this Billy Graham, and I said it's such an empty-headed fellow, talks through his hat, but still People were so impressed. And there was another one, now I think he's behind jail. I don't know his name, some funny man. So I saw him also, I was surprised. He was just talking something empty, like an empty shell. And people were all mad after thousands standing, singing, doing this, doing that. So one has to understand that these people require shocks, and they have to be shocked and they have to be told that this is going to happen. There's one other organization which has gone into a kind of a shocking system. Is uh, they are वो औरतें जो इसमें होती है क्या नाम उसका हाँ Brahma Kumari. Brahma Kumari. You see, these Brahma Kumaris have become like lightnings, and they tell people, now they don't tell that you are destroyed. What they tell, this world is going to be destroyed, everything is going to be destroyed, and you are not prepared for it, what's going to happen. Same thing Jehovah Witness is doing, the same thing. They are saying this world is going to be destroyed, and we are all going to be destroyed, so we should be prepared, and we should take to God. But this is not reality. Despite that, people are after them. You have to tell them the reality, that not only that you are destroying yourself, but you are destroying the future. People are already talking that most of the people in America will be destroyed. Now it comes from various reasons. We can say that there are no traditions and things. That's not the point. That's not the main point. One of the main points is that they destroyed so many people when they came and settled down in this country. That's one point. Now the booths of those people who died are still hanging around, and they want to see that they destroy Americans as far as possible. The amount of witchcraft, the amount of all negative techniques that are working in America, they are working nowhere. The gurus had to get out of all the countries, but they are still very nicely settled in America. The reason is these booths are giving them ideas. It's not only that they need shocks, but also these booths give them these perverted ideas of destruction. So they go for their destruction. Now the bhoothish ideas are such that you see a person coming out of a pub, falls down. And the bhoothish idea is that, what's the harm? You also try, you will never fall. You go in, nothing will happen to you. You are perfectly all right. After all, it doesn't matter. Or else, you tell them that this is wrong, we should not do. All right, so we are bad. So what? These are all bhutish ideas. These are not human ideas to talk like this or to say like this. So to all these people, see, the only thing that is going to bring round is the Vishnumaya Shakti. Nothing else. I now realize that it's only through Vishnumaya people can be cured. So Vishnumaya itself now has gone off to sleep, thanks to Christian religion, Catholic religion, and also Hinduism, because in Hinduism also there is a idea of sin, that you have sinned this, you have done that sin, so you give so much money to the Brahmin, so you'll be saved. I mean, every religion has this nonsense. But this Vishnumaya Shakti, which is being absolutely subdued and is sleeping in human beings, if you can raise it and tell people to get up out of this slumber, this laziness, by involving them very much in a bigger way, by telling them that we are for peace, peace of the world. We are for the emancipation of the humanity. We are for saving people from blunders and from their destruction. If you take a bigger platform and talk about those things, then it will be helped.